Hey everyone, welcome to another entry in the Hyrule Compendium. Today our topic comes from Twitter. @Watson's Musings asks us, what genre would you like Zelda to tackle next? Now we wanted to avoid what genre is Zelda, especially with Breath of the Wild. It's now incorporating elements of all genres.
Well, when you first mentioned this question to me, I didn't even know how to describe the genre of Zelda because of how diverse some of the games are. Breath of the Wild is an open world adventure game. What's Link's Awakening? It's a top-down 2D game, and then there's linear games like Twilight Princess that are action adventure games, and then there's more like RPG style games like Adventure of Link. Zelda, and this is the main canon of the series, has so many different genres. Not even talking about the multiplayer games.
Yeah, in his questions he mentioned, some of the more fringe games, which that actually got me to thinking more outside of the box, because I think Zelda as a series it's doing its own thing. It's not going to be like the next Zelda game isn't going to be strict RPG. It might take RPG elements, but you're not going to expect some weird shift like that, I don't think. So I thought about more what are some weird side games that will probably never exist.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I would like to see a Zelda adventure game. I was thinking either like maybe with the more cartoony art style and do a game similar to the Telltale, like more of a choose your own adventure thing. But then I was also thinking about the old point and click adventures like Monkey Island and stuff.
Oh no. Okay.
I would love to see a Tingle point and click adventure.
I haven't really played too many point and click games. I played some horror point and click games. They're not that good. That's a genre that's never...
Oh really?
I can't think of a great point and click game. But make it a Tingle one. It'll be great.
It's more about the story and the comedy and the writing, not the gameplay, Most of these actually, I think, would be good, like, mobile games, too. We've talked in other places, like, what a good Zelda mobile game would be. I think something that's casual and goofy, probably. I was looking at one of our daily debates about crossovers, and I thought it would be cool to see some kind of tactical RPG. It doesn't have to be a crossover, but something like Fire Emblem. Pokemon, I think, had a game like that too, like a weird crossover game. They have the Mario and Rabbids. That's kind of the similar genre. I think if they can do it and Pokemon can do it, I know Zelda's a little more serious. I think that genre lends itself to being serious too.
One genre we talked about was doing a Legend of Zelda survival horror game. It would have to be like cartoon horror a little bit, like sort of maybe like Luigi's Mansion type horror. They've had some elements of survival horror even in Zelda. I think of the situations where they take away your stuff and now you're like naked, you don't have any of your weaponry, and how do you survive? So there was that one island in Breath of the Wild. Now it's not exactly horror, I don't think anybody was getting scared, but they could take that idea and go one step further a little bit. I can't imagine if they ever went full on survival horror, like it's like zombies or something, I don't know.
Yeah, that seems out of character a bit, but so does the other things we've been talking about. So
we've basically had zombies in Zelda, the mummies and the
Re-Deads
and Re-Deads, yeah.
Actually, when I come to think about Zelda doing crossovers into like a sort of serious genre, I think Hyrule Warriors kind of did that. I think it's in the same ilk as what I was thinking of with the Fire Emblem kind of. I don't know if it'd have to be a crossover, but it's like that same kind of idea where it's sort of serious, but it obviously doesn't take itself seriously.
Hyrule Warriors, when they first announced it, I was very... is this really a thing? Are they really putting resources into this? But in reality, I love the game.
Yeah.
I always describe it to people, it's like one of the most mediocre games I've ever played that I couldn't stop playing. I put 300 hours or something into the game, and I still am nowhere close to finishing everything. It's a good waste of time type game. You have an hour to kill, go play a couple adventure map levels, and they can take the Zelda world and put it in a different genre.
The only time I would maybe take issue with it if it was here's a canon game.
And it's got to be really, if they did stuff like they do with Mario, but with Zelda. I don't want to see Hyrule Tennis.
I think we already get enough of that with Link showing up in Mario Kart. I like that. Yeah, I don't think we need sports games or anything. Or he shows up in we have the characters in Super Smash Brothers and stuff like that. Even Link was in Soul Calibur 2.
They can dabble with it a little bit, but I don't know about making it. Though none of those are Zelda games. Hyrule Warriors is a Zelda game. You call it what it is, but it's in the Zelda realm. Nobody's considering Mario Kart part of the Zelda realm.
One of my favorite genres of games that I wish Nintendo would do any sort of thing with, is some sort of like sim or strategy game. I know we've got Animal Crossing is like a life simulator, but that's another one that I don't see with Zelda doing that.
You know, they've dabbled into little things like that, like in Breath of the Wild, you can get your own house. I actually haven't done much with that, but I don't know how much you can customize. Like if you think of like Twilight Princess, you got like one of the things like with like Ordon Ranch, if you can like customize your home, it would have to be a little more expansive, maybe like in Breath of the Wild's world. I can't, you know, actually I'm having trouble even imagining it like an Animal Crossing game in Breath of the Wild's universe.
I could see them just straight up incorporating those type of things into the game.
Just taking what they did and just expanding significantly on it.
Yeah. It also would be cool if you can do this in other open world games, having more of a social element to it. I was thinking in Harvest Moon and like The Sims, you can like make friends with people, and I don't know if I would want that in Breath of the Wild.
It could be weird if it's like
Zelda.
If it was almost like a multiplayer aspect. So like I made my little home in Hateno, and then suddenly I have a neighbor, and it's GUI.
Oh, so are you saying we make Zelda an MMO?
It's a multiplayer Animal Crossing.
Oh my goodness. I think a lot of people, when they hear certain things we're saying right now, are just immediately like, no,
don't do it.
But to that I will say Zelda has done more ridiculous things, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just keeping my mind open, especially after Hyrule Warriors. Because I was like you. I was like, this is stupid. And then I played it and I was like, well, it's fun. You know, it's not meant to be like,
yeah, it wasn't bad is as far as I'll say. You know, it was worth existing.
What do you think about Link's crossbow training?
That one's a forgettable one. Like that doesn't need to ever be mentioned again.
Okay, dang. Okay, it's fun though, right?
No, I don't think so.
See, when I was thinking a lot of these games, I was thinking of something like that, where it's like,
okay,
you know, it's not a big deal. Like, it's a fun little Zelda thing.
Sometimes I think games are done well, like other genres do things so well that you don't need it to cross over sometimes. It's like, okay. But then again, like a game like Hyrule Warriors, I would never play Dynasty Warriors.
True.
And Hyrule Warriors was the reason I got into a game like that. Now, I haven't gone on and played other Dynasty Warriors games, but I wonder if a lot of Zelda fans sort of got introduced to the Dynasty Warriors through this game, and now they're going to go on and play other ones.
Okay.
Or they'll get the Fire Emblem one that's coming out, you know. Maybe it'll cause them to get that when or, you know, maybe they're not a Fire Emblem or a Dynasty Warriors fan, but they're like, oh, I like the Zelda crossovers. Who knows? Maybe. Yeah.
If you were a Zelda fan and a Dynasty Warriors fan, which we know some people are, their mind probably exploded.
Yeah. Well, some people viewed it as a bad version of a Dynasty Warriors game. It was like a more mellow version of Dynasty Warriors. I've heard that argument from Dynasty Warriors fans.
Speaking of the crossovers, in one of the daily debate, we mentioned that it was what should Zelda crossover with. I just said straight up a Mario crossover. I think maybe in the style of like those Mario RPGs they do. It's another thing where the tone is supposed to be silly, because the concept is of them two working together is kind of a goofy thing. I especially thinking about how the side characters would interact is really funny too, like Bowser and Ganondorf and Luigi. And I know that's something that probably is unlikely, but that's actually one that's high on my list of something that I would...
If it was like a Mushroom Kingdom kind of game, maybe. Yeah. Mario needs help and gets Link to come to the Mushroom Kingdom. And Bowser... Yeah.
I could totally see Bowser helping them out against Ganondorf.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like a friend of me.
Right. I think most people will hate that idea. I think most people probably hate most of the ideas we're talking about.
Yeah, at least we don't, you know. Maybe they need like a Legend of Zelda Professor Layton game or something.
Why not? I'm not
Why is a better question.
You know, both of those questions I think are valid.
Okay.
Actually, let us know in the comments if you got into Dynasty Warriors after playing Hyrule Warriors, if you weren't a fan before. Let us know how horrendous most of these ideas probably are, or if you liked any. Let us know what genres you'd like to see Zelda do, what crossovers you'd like to see Zelda do. And yeah, thanks for watching.